After doing a video of the boys of 40k, I found that it would only be fitting to make a short video of the warlord Thraka himself and his many models over the years. The following model is the first instance of Gaskell Thraka. This model, or conversion rather, was featured in White Dwarf issue 134 from 1991. Although his banner is rather imposing, he looks nothing like the more modern counterparts that we see today. The first real version of Thraka came back in 1994. With this version he gets a more imposing pose, more prominent horns, and in general more details. The differences between the first two models are however noteworthy, the first adhering more to the Space Orc style, while this version of Thraka would be more in the Space Pirates or Space Raiders style. We also see his friend Makari in this version, his squad companion carrying a quite oversized banner, perfectly fitting for the comical nature of the orcs at the time. The following image features the model with a more modern paint scheme. One thing to note is that this model, or this version, would be the go-to model for Thraka for almost 6 years, until the year 2000. This version of Thraka is probably one that many still remember, and still have. This is because this version, specifically, was the go-to version for Thraka for almost 20 years. This version was initially released with the Codex Armageddon for 3rd edition and featured heavier armor than its previous counterparts. This being the Mega armor, of course. Sadly, Makari did not get a model for this version of Thraka, and many Imperium soldiers speculated that he had died from Gaskell accidentally sitting on him. And now we stop at the latest Thraka, still as angry as ever, and now with his companion Makari back at his side once again, because apparently his death had been greatly over-exaggerated or something. He's also ditched his Mega armor for something much more fitting for the warlord, this being his custom Mega armor, or whatever it is called. His Shuta also got an upgrade, of course. In general, the model much better features the spirit of Thraka both in the pose and stature, while at the same time being rather silly, as can be seen in the huge stitches Thraka has on his neck after his head was sewed back on. And still, just like the first version of Gaskell, he still has the weird obsession with horns. Anyway, that was very quickly the evolution of the Gaskell Thraka model. If there are any models or any model lines that you would like me to take a look at and summarize quickly next, just please leave a comment in the comment field below.